Hello, everyone, and welcome to the pilot of Sipping on Zen and Juice. My name is Megan, and I am here with Corey today. I'm Zen, and she's Juice. We're going to share a little bit about what we anticipate to bring to you and emphasize in our podcast and talk a little bit about our journey and what's to come. So, I have been reading tarot for 5 years. I've always known that I was spiritually inclined, but I didn't know at the same time. I had no idea how to translate the language of spirit into my everyday 3D life. And I think, honestly, there were times on this journey where I thought that maybe I was a little loca because what the fuck is it seeing angel numbers? Excuse me. Like I was crazy lost for a long time. But eventually I had found a YouTube video that led me to tarot and I just went crazy and I just dove completely into it and I became immersed with understanding how to communicate with things that are not tangible in our everyday realm. And it's been a blessing and it's been a little bit of a curse, but I've got to meet a lot of great people on this journey and I've got to help a ton of incredible souls. And one of the people that I got to meet was Corey.
Hey.
Hey, boo. So one of those people I got to meet was Corey, and she is basically the best bitch in the whole entire world. If you don't know her, get to know her. I'm gonna hand over the stage to her to tell her a little bit about you. Wait, girl, I just fucked that up. I'm gonna hand over the stage to let her share a little bit about her and her story.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Corey, also known as Juice, and thank you, Meg, for that intro. And can we talk about how great Meg's voice is? I could listen to her talk forever. It's so
Oh,
calming, and she's got the sultry rasp. I know y'all are gonna enjoy it.
ooh la
Anyway,
la.
anyway, like Meg, I've always known that I've had gifts. I just didn't understand them. I felt crazy. Definitely thought it was mental illness from a young age, and especially as an adult, um, I felt like it was again mental illness. And I've been practicing just as long as Meg. I was always into the occult and by that I mean I was fascinated by it. I was scared of it. I was fascinated by it. Like
Mm.
cults and like how there were cult leaders and why did people join, and I was always fascinated by that, but I was always nervous and scared and definitely scared of tarot. And so I just kept feeling this calling like, okay, they're telling me to use these gifts or figure it out or get answers. So I started, where do you go when you're looking for answers? Googly to the Google. Um,
Google.
and as I did, I found Reddit. Go figure. And as I was on Reddit, I stumbled across something that was like tarot practice. And these people would submit questions and have people practicing that were learning how to read tarot ask them, didn't know who they were, right? Because on Reddit, you are an alias. And in this subreddit, it was like everyone was doing it for free or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, oh, okay, well, let me get a tarot deck, right? Let me just try. So I did. I started doing that, but I always like had guides that came in and channeled, and um but I was like, I don't know these people, so let me see if this is actually a gift or if I actually am crazy and really need to go to the mental hospital. And then through that, I was a late joiner to TikTok. And for those of you that don't know, Meg and I are both active on TikTok. We both do a live
Ooh.
streaming there, so you should check us out.
Come check us out.
um but as I was scrolling through TikTok, I was like, oh my gosh, there's like tarot readers, there's psychics, there's mediums. Like, what the hell is all of this? I was like, I thought all of you guys were faking a scam, and I was the only real one. Um, but not really. I had to get
Scammers.
comfortable with it, and I found
Schmucks.
Meg. And when I found Meg, I was like, oh damn, she's one of the real ones. And then she, as you can tell, she's amazing. And as you guys will tell, she's super personable and fun and witty and loyal and everything that you want in a human. And I'm so glad we became friends. And we both read and have had millions and millions of different events and scenarios in the spirituality realm. And it just felt like this was a good click for us to do a podcast and share. But that's a little bit about me.
Well, thank you for sharing a little bit about you. It's been so nice to get to know you and to just grow our friendship in general. I feel like I've got to know you so much even just through talking and setting up things with the podcast, just all of these different things we got to know about each other is very, very, very nice.
Yeah, and like we're both like neurodivergent. So our ADHD is crazy.
We're
And
literally
we
loca.
both think that we'll get into this later, but we both think that we're autistic too. So we're like odd
There might be like
behaviors.
a, you know, might be a
And so it's
chance.
interesting watching us work because like we'll hyperfixate on something together and then one of us runs left, the other one runs right, but we like
Yes.
both end up in the middle some way,
Yeah.
somehow.
Somehow we back up with each other. We're like, all right, this is what I've gathered. This is what I've gathered.
When I'm off track, you put me on track and vice versa.
Vice versa. Exactly, exactly, exactly.
But welcome
Uh,
to the pilot, everyone.
welcome to the pilot. Welcome to the pilot. So, Corey, what the fuck is this podcast about?
Well, this podcast is a whole lot of like everything and nothing at the same time, just like your lovely episode of Downton Abbey. Just
Oh,
kidding. Um, no, but this podcast is one, we do want to talk about spirituality and we want to talk about things that we've experienced, those that are interested in spirituality, those that, have their own run in or maybe clairvoyant themselves. And so we wanted to touch on that, but we also have a lot of life stories, life lessons. There are things that we've learned and we know we want to help you all from learning, the hard lessons like we have, but we also talk about love and relationships and things that we wish we told ourselves when we were younger, and we love pop culture and music. And so this is really us sharing a little bit of our corner with you all. And we hope that you join us along the way, and every episode kind of has a different theme and a different vibe to it. um and our pilot episode is just to kind of introduce you to us and give you a little bit of a taste of what's to come. But it definitely is spiritual, esoteric, our stories of spirituality, some of the readings that we've done, what we're occurring on that realm, but also just life. And we're human and we're in the 3D too. So how do we blend the 5D with the 3D? And that's what we're doing
right.
here.
Exactly. How do you blend the 5D with the 3D? I think another thing that I like about our little corner, not all not all areas of the room are light. Some are dark, and there are those spooky, creepy places that we do intend on diving down as well. Conspiracy theories, different things along those lines. So I'm very much so looking forward to that. Talking about astral projection, talking about um I just lost the word for it. Talking about
Mediumship, the spookies, the ghosts,
mediumship, talking about spookies, the ghosts, and there's one word that I'm looking for and I am losing it.
the Akashic records.
Oh, Akashic Records. Yeah, I definitely want us to talk about that. Um, what's it called? Something remote viewing. Remote viewing.
Oh yeah, that.
Just slightly different from astral projection because you're viewing a place and not not necessarily like traveling to it. You're kind of like homeostasis. I don't know. You're like in your home capsule, but
Yeah.
it's, I just love it. I love all the spooks. I love it. I love it. But I don't like too spooky. Too spooky is not for us.
We won't tell you like super scary or haunty things, but I will tell you some areas of our lives are a little spooky.
Some areas
Are a
are.
little, ooh.
Some areas are a little spooky, and it just is the way that it is. Sometimes we are freaked the fuck out.
True, true. But you know what? Like, again, like this is a little bit of us to you guys get to like watch us do some things for the first time.
Yeah.
Um, and also like one thing about, Zen and myself is that we love to laugh. We love to laugh. We can see the humor and life probably in areas that we shouldn't.
Facts.
But we love to laugh and we love to enjoy life. And that's like I think a huge part of like why the people that do follow us um like us is because we are a little crazy, a little kooky, but we love a
A
good
little
laugh.
loca.
But yeah, like we love a good laugh and we also love a good roast.
We love a good roast. I love me. I love me some campfire chicken. I love me a good roast. What can I say?
But anyway,
So,
I'm curious because it's been a moment since you and I have like actually spoken. To kind of know like what's going on in your life. Like what do you have going on? Is there anything new? Is there anything interesting? Or maybe it's just like, you know what? Life is just kind of life in right now.
September was a shit show in the best way possible. Like, it was such a good, positive month for me. But on the other hand, it was go, go, go 24/7. I was busy every weekend, every day of September. So I was just like, I'm ready to be over it. We had baby showers and birthdays after birthdays. I think I celebrated like 4 or 5 birthdays in the month of September. I'm like, listen, y'all, I am whooped out. I need a break here. Um, but aside from all of the positives, I did, well, another positive, I did turn 30. Whoop, whoop. Yeah,
Yay!
officially
30
30,
cumpleaños.
30,
Hey.
30.
She 30 and she thriving and she thirsty for y'all.
Yeah, it was honestly such a good birthday. I got to enjoy it with my family a lot of the time. And I have to show you guys my cake. We'll make sure that we insert said clip of cake in the YouTube video. If
Oh
we if
yeah,
we
we'll
do
share the
that.
cake.
Yeah, dude, my cake is so cute. I was so happy. My sister and my mom went together and they surprised me with it, and it was just absolutely adorable. I couldn't have asked for a better birthday, so that was really nice.
I love
Um,
that.
Other than that, I've just been working my fucking cock off 24/7. Work, 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 work. And I've lost a little bit more weight as well. My
Yay.
weight loss journey is going good. So I'm happy to report back good news there. I know that you guys don't really know that much about me, but and I won't get into it too deep on this episode, but I kind of went somewhere around like 330 pounds down to like, I don't know what I'm at right now. I think I'm at like 175 or something like that. So that's a huge jump in weight, and I'm almost to my goal. I'm so close to my goal weight. Um, so it's really nice to finally be here, but it took me a long time to finally get to this point. This has been a 3-year journey. There's been surgeries in between and tons of other stuff, but we will talk about that another time. So yeah, work's been going good. Work has been busy. Life has been busy. I've been living it up. Um, and I've been working on my health and making sure that I try to stay consistent on my fucking skincare routine because I so suck at staying consistent with my hygiene routine. I'm like so bad at it. So I'm trying to like really push myself like, bitch, you need to use your retinol every fucking day. You bought that vitamin C, now go put it on your face. That niacinamide is not just sitting there to collect dust. put it on the skin, it puts the lotion on the skin, and it doesn't age like an old crown. So that's what I've been dealing with. How about you, Corey? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Oh, no, no, it's been a lot of birthdays over here too. I am surrounded by Virgos, virgins. Um, I love you all, but you also irritate me, but I love you guys. So it's been a whole month of birthdays over here for me and trying to keep up with everyone and everything. By the way, I still have your present. I will mail it out. It is sitting here on my desk, already ready to go. It just
You're
is
good.
office. Um, but on top of that, I'm gonna say there's been a lot of shifts. There's been a lot of shifts in my life and trying to like readjust and really figure out what it is that I'm doing. And I'm trying to figure it out a little bit like every single day. Um, I did have, which I know we're going to talk about in just a little bit, but the eclipse did hit hard over here again. Um, and I did let go of some friendships, which were hard, but at the same time, I feel so much lighter and I feel so much better. And I know we'll talk about that later, but between that and readings, and then I've picked up like my oil painting again, which I really love. And
Nice.
um I used to write music for a record label, and I stopped doing that, but I just like picked up writing again. Writing music, by the way. Um so that's been great, trying to get outside. My garden is like kind of wrapping up, so I'm trying to figure out, okay, what winter crops do I want to grow.
Yeah.
And then, trying to juggle relationships, people, and all of that. So um I wish, I had really cool things to say, but it's kind of life doing life and trying to adjust and adulting. But
It's
you
been
know,
life doing life. You're right. It's
yeah, and
it's
like
been life doing life.
trying to be consistent on a skincare routine
Oh,
and also, getting back on the health game and
yeah.
making sure like you're working out, you're doing these things. Like I started doing mindful like stretching and stuff because
Hmm.
I'm like, why am I so tight all the time? So I'm like, you know what? We're gonna stretch, we're gonna work out, we're like getting our shit together. I'm actually
Girl.
like meal planning, so I actually like
Get it,
my
girl.
healthy meals. Except tonight I did not had Buffalo Wild Wings. But
As you
yeah.
deserve. I still want three Doritos Locos tacos right now in my stomach. And
Oh,
matter of
that sounds
fact,
good.
after we fucking film, if they're still open, I might go get me three Doritos Locos tacos.
Are they good? I've never had those.
Corey, you're kidding. You've never had a
No,
Doritos Locos taco?
no, I haven't. And I know they have a whole like new cantina menu. I've never had that either.
Oh my God,
But their
Corey,
Baja
baby.
Blast, yes.
It's actually making me salivate so fucking. I
Stop.
love the Doritos Locos tacos. The Doritos Locos tacos to me are an icon. They are an actual legend. I used to love so many things on the Taco Bell menu. I used to go there. I used to be able to get so many different things, and I don't know why. But lately, chalupas don't taste good anymore. The only thing that I want in my mouth hole is three Doritos Locos tacos. Regular, not supreme. Get your sour cream out of my fucking face. Don't ruin my taco.
Wait, you're not a sour creamer?
Don't put that on my taco. Are you
I love sour cream.
on your taco?
Yeah,
Okay, if it was a
I
chicken taco,
love
yeah.
sour cream.
If it was a chicken taco or a pork taco, sure. Like I can get down
Girl,
with some sour cream.
I love the cream in my face.
She loves creamies in her face.
I love eating and swallowing the cream.
She loves licking the white
Also,
cream
if
off her
you're
face. It's
under the
thick
age
and
of
savory.
also if you're under the age of 13 or 18, maybe you shouldn't be listening to this.
Viewer discretion is advised. But yeah, I love Doritos Locos Tacos. They're my fucking favorite thing in the entire world. I love them.
I've got to try them.
You do.
Now I'm
What's your
like,
go-to? What do you get at the menu?
What do I get at Taco Bell?
Yeah.
So one, you got to get the chips and the cheese.
Oh, you gotta get chips and cheese. That's
Got to
like,
get the chips and the
you
cheese.
gotta get chips and cheese.
And I used to be a chalupa girl, but the chalupa doesn't taste right anymore. The
That
outside doesn't taste right.
it's wrong, right? Prove me wrong. They fucked the chalupa up. That's not
Exactly.
the same bread it used to be.
Exactly. And I was like, this doesn't taste good. This tastes like chemicals. And so I've
Yes.
just been getting like when I go and I'm like, okay, I like need a Taco Bell fix. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get a regular taco again. Their lettuce also tastes like crap to me. So it's just the
Yes.
meat and it's just the cheese and like four fire sauce packets.
Maybe that's why I like Dorito tacos so much because it's literally just meat and crunchy, cheesy show with Diablo sauce.
Oh yeah.
Or, oh, well, not Diablo. I usually don't get Diablo. I feel like Diablo doesn't taste good. I usually get hot sauce. Hot sauce is the sauce I get because it's that perfect medium. Mild is too mild,
You
but
don't like
Diablo doesn't
fire? I
taste.
don't even think fire is even hot. I just
It's
like it
not.
because it's a thicker consistency.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. It's good. It's exactly everything that it should
People
be.
are saying I've heard people are saying that the cantina taco that has like the cheese melted on one side of the taco shell is like
Yeah,
good.
that it's not good.
That it is good.
Oh, it is good. Yes, I've had it. It is good. I was about to dispute those people because I'm not even a chicken person, and I liked it. I chicken to me is the most revolting
I
thing.
used to be into the Mexican pizza, but now they
Hmm.
make it really soggy and I'm not
I've
into
never
it.
had their Mexican pizza.
And I use oh, I will get a Crunch Wrap Supreme.
I had a Crunchwrap Supreme for the first time the other day because my sister convinced me to get a Crunchwrap Supreme instead of an additional Doritos Locos taco, and I said, "Sure. I've already got two Doritos Locos. Why not?" I was a little disappointed.
I know, but I'm gonna be like honest. I like Taco Bell when I'm drunk. I
Yeah.
like Taco Bell when it's really late at night.
Yeah.
I like Taco Bell when I feel like I want to abuse myself. But my issue is that I grew up on the border with Mexican food and I'm like, damn, I could make something so much better. And
Oh
then,
yeah.
but that's also work.
That's the problem for me. Like I feel like well, let's get into it. I tried to re-inspire myself to get back into cooking recently because I just have not been cooking for myself. I've been eating girl dinners every single day for I don't know how long because I just don't find cooking for myself enjoyable. And I feel like after I cook for myself and I finally eat it, I'm like, oh, this doesn't taste good. And that's just so fucking annoying to me. But
Mhm.
I made what I thought, well, it actually was good. The problem was with that it was fucking chicken. I made a white wine Parmesan chicken
That sounds
and
good though.
it was so good. And I even like sauteed onions and mushrooms. It was so good, right? Like there was nothing about this meal that should have been wrong. Like it was chicken stock mixed with white wine, some herbs added, et cetera, et cetera. Should have been a delicious meal. And I loved the sauce. I was spooning the sauce out of the pan. But when it came to that dirty, nasty bird, I took a couple bites and that was game. I hate that I'm like that with chicken. Whenever I make my own chicken at home, I always hate it.
Do you
Mark my
think
words.
do you think maybe a little bit of it is like mental?
It's all
Because like
mental.
for
The whole thing.
me, it's like if I so one, I feel the same way. Cooking for myself, I hate it. But if I'm
Hmm.
cooking for other people, I will cook and cook and cook. I
Yeah.
suck at it, but I will do it, right? Because it's like there's something different about when you're making food for somebody and then you're just doing it for you. It just like doesn't hit the same.
It doesn't
But
hit the
I
same.
also feel like people will tell me that my food is good, but I don't think it is. But if I eat anybody else's food, it's so much better than my own. And I
Right?
think it's a mental thing. I think it's a mental thing.
I will say though, I don't I know that I'm a good cook. I know that I make amazing food. And I know that when I eat the food that I make, the first three bites it's like, I feel like I could have been Ratatouille himself up there, like experiencing cheese for the first time. The first three bites are always everything I ever want it to be. And then once I get past, I'm just like, yep, I'm over it. I don't want to eat this anymore. I just wasted fucking, who knows, $9 to $20 on this meal that I know that I won't eat tomorrow. So it's like, why waste my time? I might as well go grab a fucking string cheese, an apple, and a yogurt and call it a day. And if I want Taco Bell later, I can still go grab it. And I hate saying that, but that's just
Yeah.
kind of the point that I'm at. I
Well,
will say, oh, go ahead.
oh no, you go ahead.
I will say, okay, have you heard of that Dubai pistachio chocolate?
I've heard of it,
Have you,
never had
okay, and have you like seen those we'll post a little clip here for YouTube, but they are basically the best things I've ever tried, ever. I've been wanting to get my hands on one of those Dubai pistachio chocolate bars for quite a long time. And when my friend was here, who flew in from Florida, her mom actually got a kit on Amazon to make pistachio chocolate at home. So we did. We made the fucking the Dubai chocolate
it. Was it
pistachio
good?
bullshit at home. And oh my God, it was, I haven't, there hasn't been a
Del
day that goes by since that
delectable.
day
It
that I
was
haven't thought about the chocolate.
delectable.
It was so delectable. I could have taken that, I think it's called Knopf or Kanafi. I don't actually know. I didn't really look at the package. Basically, it's like phyllo dough that's been super, super, super finely shredded into these like hay like noodle pieces, and they're very crunchy. And you mix that in with pistachio butter and like, walnuts if you want. Maybe you can throw some almonds or some pistachios in there. And then you just mix it all together. Oh my fucking God. You put it in a chocolate mold with chocolate. Oh, it was
I
everything.
want to try it now. I'm not a huge fan of chocolate, but I want to try it.
Neither am I. And I mean, shout out to you guys. I love that you made those bars. They were so good, but they definitely used too much chocolate when they were like making the border or the chocolate itself. Like to me, I need a thin enough layer to hold the bar together. Do not make it a
Yeah.
thick bar of chocolate. I am not I will never be that girl that you see that just bites into a fucking Hershey bar.
Ew.
Get out of my
Ugh.
face.
No,
Right?
no. And my brother-in-law loves chocolate. So anytime there's dessert, it's always that. And I'm like, I hate it. I
Yeah.
love white chocolate. I know people are saying white chocolate isn't chocolate, but I swear to God, that cookies and cream chocolate
What
bar,
is it?
ugh,
What if it is it if it's
good.
not chocolate?
But if you put a Hershey, oh, no. And I would rather go for something fruity anyway. So I love things that are lemon and lime, and chocolate is an absolute not. And I will say, I've never eaten a can of SpaghettiOs in my life, okay? But I
What?
did, yeah, I never have. And there's a lot of things I haven't eaten that like normal people eat.
Mm.
Because with my mom and then also being raised by, um, my little Latina grandma, she made everything from scratch. And so like I've never had oatmeal.
You never
No,
had to
I
associate
did try
yourself with that
oatmeal.
nasty processed food.
I
You were
did
given the goods.
Yeah, well, I did try oatmeal one time in college and I thought it was the nastiest shit my entire life. But my point is that I haven't had SpaghettiOs, but I was like looking through it and for some reason one night I was like, I'm craving SpaghettiOs that I've never had in my whole life, right?
So you
Don't know
don't
what
even know
it
what they
tastes
taste
like,
like.
but I am craving it. And so I was like, I'm gonna make my own, but I didn't have any SpaghettiOs, but I had alphabet pasta and I had tomatoes from my garden and I had chicken bouillon. And I will tell you, I don't know if it tastes anything like SpaghettiOs, but I'm saying it's SpaghettiOs, but alphabetos. And it was the most delicious shit I've ever eaten in my life
That
because
sounds
I
like
put,
actually super on point. Like your recipe sounds like that would be like the
yeah,
superior
it was
version of
like,
nasty
I,
ass
I
SpaghettiOs. I do
put,
not associate with SpaghettiOs. I fucking hate them.
well, so I put like, it was like tomatoes, tomato paste, what else? The stock and bouillon in there, garlic and onion, and then a lot of Parmesan Reggiano and Parmesan cheese. Freshly grate that shit in there.
Yum.
plus oregano and basil and some paprika and some chili flakes.
I'll tell you what, baby.
Oh, so good.
SpaghettiOs ain't never put none of those herbs in
Well,
in theirs. I'll
I
tell
don't
you what,
know.
yours is the 5-star version. 5 star.
I don't know what I mean, but I it all stemmed because I was craving
You made
spaghettios
Cheerios.
that I've never had in my life.
You made
But
Cheerios.
side note though, I have a lot of those experiences, and I sometimes wonder if there's like a spirit passing me or crossing me because why the hell would I crave spaghettios that I've never eaten in my whole life or even know what it's like? But then I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just crazy.
Maybe it's the phantom of your childhood.
Yeah, it could be a number of things, but
Play, playing for a taste of 90s nostalgia.
well, yeah, but I'm just like, but I've had like that stuff happen. Like the other day, I was like craving it. I was like, I need to go get a cigar. I do not smoke, right? But
Oh,
I was
that's
like,
so
I
fun.
need a
Okay, yeah. If
cigar.
you're having like signs like that, you're like, what? Why would that's
I
totally a
was like
spiritual sign.
craving it. And then literally I go and get a cigar and I light it up and I start choking. I'm like, this is shit. Why did I do this to myself? But it was a crave.
It was a crave. You were craving it.
Right. But I think, too, this is like a good segue into like all the phenomena that's been happening right now. So, what I mean by that is on April 8th of 2024, we all
Dun,
encountered the
dun.
solar eclipse. Well, at least here in North America. And we had that eclipse. Then we recently, earlier, well, last month, we had a lunar eclipse. Then
Dun, dun,
on
dun.
the second, there was a solar flame slash solar eclipse for South America.
Dun, dun,
And
dun.
now we're in a new moon. But when the solar eclipse happened on October 2nd, that was the same time we had a supercharged full moon.
We did. It was the harvest moon as well, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah. It was a triple threat. It was like a, it was like,
Damn, it's the Shirley Temple of phenomena.
exactly.
But I don't know about you, but I've had really, really strange, creepy, freaky occurrences. So, for those of you that don't know, the purpose of the solar eclipse is to help you release things that don't serve you, right? So, things that
What?
aren't serving you, things that need to get readjusted back on track, or things that are, needing to move on. That's what the solar eclipse is supposed to do. But mind you, we're in a Saturn retrograde, right? Age of Aquarius, and then something about Pluto.
Everything
Um,
is in retrograde right now. Ev- Everything's
yeah.
in retrograde.
Well, so then we're having that. And so that energy is going to be here till the end of the year. And so with what happened on April 8th, the rest of the next 3 months are again going to be that last huge push and kick in the ass of
Hmm.
like things that you need to let go and release from. And then with Saturn in retrograde, people are getting their karma on top of that and have been getting their karma. So that's going to be a bust in the ass times two there. And then with the lunar eclipse, that's like emotional release. That's like emotional movement. Again, it's like shaking things up. I feel like I'm missing something with the lunar eclipse. But it's also about not just releasing, but it's about welcoming in your manifestation, right? So, what do you
Right.
want to welcome in for like the next year or two, or what do you want to manifest in? And then on top of that, we had the other solar eclipse that does a whole like boot. Now we're wanting to boot you and release you again. And now we have the new moon right now, which is like, what do we want to bring in?
What do you want to bring in with the new moon? Exactly. And I think that part of what it is for me, like when I look at this new moon right now, I'm reflecting back on everything that has essentially taken place since April of 2024, because that was when I feel like there was a shift during that point of time personally in my life. And it's ironic because there were particular groups of people that I heavily associated with during that time, during the solar eclipse, right? It's like that's a lot of energy. It's like things are revving up, everything's full and exciting and vibrant and yada yada yada. But now that we've come all the way into October and we've gone through what we went through in September, I will say that I have seen Saturn rule with an iron fist. And I will say that if you did good April until now, good is coming in for you. And if you cause some karma, baby, that good old sweet caramel, if you cause some karma, be prepared to get yours. Like no cap. And what I'm saying is the amount of people that I've seen just kind of descend or get cut out of my life because their energy and my energy don't mesh anymore. It's like, I get it. You're not on the same energetic wavelength as me anymore, but it sucks that you couldn't ascend. It sucks that you couldn't, I guess, be more aware, you know? But now you're stuck with the consequences of your actions and your lack of growth is showing in your day-to-day life,
I
you know?
agree.
So,
And I've seen that a lot too in readings where
yeah,
it's like, why isn't this happening? Why isn't this coming? And like some of it
right.
is hard to hear. Some of it is your karma.
Some of it
Like
is your
it's
karma.
not just like it is what you did between now and then, absolutely. But some of this is stuff that you guys have done for years or repeated things and BS and relationships and stuff. And I know there's also this huge push going on right now that if you've been avoiding your karmic lessons, if you've been avoiding learning and changing and listening and doing the things you need to do, your karma is coming down and it's been coming down and it's going to
Right.
get worse. So you're not surrendering, you're fighting it. It's just going to keep getting worse because you're not listening. And it's like people just, they don't get it, they don't understand it, and it's really hard to see. But like you, I've two really big significant relationships for me have ended. One was just right after the solar eclipse, and one was just recently right after the lunar eclipse. And I will say, as like I alluded to this earlier, when I started reading, I had met this person and they really helped me. We went back and forth, but there the eclipse is working on me, and this isn't like a crazy story, but it's been working on me because I have a tendency to put my needs last, where I will help people, I will
Right.
go above and beyond, I will say no to myself, I'll give to
Hmm.
other people instead of giving to myself, I will
Sure.
bend over backwards for somebody instead of doing, what I need to do. And I have a really really hard time, and it's a problem. And lately, this whole year, Spirit's been working on me on or the universe has been working on me and kind of being like, hey, look, you need to stop that shit. Like, you need to stop giving, you need to stop pouring out.
Gotta
Um,
have boundaries.
right. And so with them, um, and I'll get into like this conversation. We'll maybe do on another episode, but basically there were some things in the relationship in the friendship that just like weren't working. It was like, oh, you keep me around when you want a reading because no one else will like read for you, or you didn't have like friends, or so I'd always like give you free readings. And
Right.
then there were several times where you would lie and manipulate me. And here's the thing about me is I'll know when you're lying and I'll know when you're manipulating, and
Ditto.
I'll have the receipts, but I won't call you out. I will see how far you will take it. I will
Yep.
see if this is like a one time thing or if this is like repetitive. And I keep tally of it. And then at some point, when I have had enough, it's over. Right.
It's
And it
over.
kind of like got this person, like, like a knife in the dark, where it was like I was doing a reading. I said, hey, I'm really busy. I have a lot going on. Mentally, I've had a lot going on. I have a lot going on in my life.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, yeah, I'll do this reading for you, but I only have 30 minutes and I do have to go. And I didn't charge her, I didn't do anything. And I misread her last question. And so I answered it and then I like picked up my stuff because I had to like do other things. And she was like, what I had asked was, and what I had said was, and like, that's not what I asked you. And the tone was filthy. And she's done this to me
Dang.
before when I have been right about things. She's come at me because she hasn't liked it and she doesn't listen. And anyway, all of this is to say that at that moment, everything that had been piling up with this person, it snapped. And I was like,
Split imploded.
and yeah, and I didn't, all I said was like, I misread your question and I told you I had a lot going on and I will pull for you. But then I was a little petty and I said, but you know what? But I was like, but people make mistakes, you know, whatever. And she turns around and goes, she's like, well, you don't have any room to talk because of this, whatever. And at that moment, I was like, you know what? I said, I really think you and I need to take some space. I have a lot going on in my life that I need to concentrate on. I think it's best for both of us that we take space. And when you've made mistakes, like, oh, I don't know, saying that somebody died that didn't, I didn't call you out and I didn't make
Right.
you feel bad about yourself. I was just like, oh, okay. And it was like what I had meant was, and I went on, I did not treat you the way that you treated me. And I said that, and she's like, okay, well, I wish you the best. And I was like, fine. And after that, um, an hour later, she sends me a text being like, I know when I've done wrong and etc. And I didn't respond because I was like, I need space.
Yeah. Like
And then
respect my boundaries right now. My boundaries are I need space.
exactly. Well, mind you, I'm never on Facebook. I don't even know who the hell uses Facebook anymore, other than like, I guess
I
for
get on there for
events.
marketplace to look at things that I never buy.
Okay, but I haven't had a Facebook post made about me or even anonymously about me since like 2007.
Oh yeah, right? Like
She,
long time ago.
mind you, we have zero mutual friends. Okay, zero. She goes on to put these two statuses talking about how some people are manipulators that don't know they're manipulators directly at me because she mentions a situation. Then the
Oh
second
my
one mentions said situation and saying, when I'm done, blah, blah, blah. Then the next day she sends me a text message that's like, just wanted to check in on you. And I'm like, no, you just want me to read on you. All you want is me as a reader. And then you did that. I haven't responded to her since because I'm like, when I'm done, I'm done. When I said I need space, I need space.
God.
And I do
Exactly.
know this is a friendship I'm never going back to.
And you know what?
And that status
That's
shit just absolutely solidified it.
yeah, exactly.
And
I think that that's the cherry on top.
yeah, and I never, ever, ever check Facebook. I'm never on it. And I happened to get on Facebook late night one day. I don't know what I was doing. And I accidentally somehow posted a photo of me that I took from 2005. How the fuck do you do that? Number one. And then number
It
two,
was probably AI.
well, and then like number two, when I open it, because I'm like, I don't know, something told me to open it and I have all these likes. I'm like, what is this photo? Both of her statuses back to back popped up for me to see it. How that happened, they were days apart, I don't know, but that's a
Right.
universe thing. And when I saw that and the fact that you like, she came forward, I was like, okay, no, 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 I'm done. But all of that is to say that there are these friendships that I thought I would have my whole life or that I thought would have a lot of longevity and they don't. And I knew that that relationship didn't have longevity because of the lying and the manipulation and the usage and things like that. I already knew it, but it came to light. And that was like directly after the eclipse. Um, so although that was a hard lesson, I feel a weight lifted from my shoulders,
Good.
but I've also felt very uneasy about things that are coming. I feel very uneasy about what's going to happen the rest of this year.
Me
I think
too.
I have felt my very first time shift. There are moments where I feel like I'm like going in and out of consciousness sometimes, which is like scary. And then last night I was doing mediumship on live and a spirit tried to jump in me for the first time fucking ever that I've never experienced. And I would have told you I was cuckoo cabanas if it didn't happen to me.
Listen, I will tell you what. And I'm not going to talk about it too much because I'm sure we're going to talk about it later. But when I was at that Catholic retreat, when I was 16, when I was at that Catholic retreat,
Oh yeah.
they said what they called that, and this is why it's relevant. They called that the spirit of Christ entering your soul. That's what they claimed that that experience was. So it's interesting to me that you say that you felt like you experienced that a spirit was trying to fucking jump inside of you because I've been there and it is a very, very, very scary thing to deal with. And it's only happened to me once in my entire lifetime. And it only happened at that weird fucking camp. I'm still not sure about that place. It only happened that one time, but it was a very scary experience.
I remember that. I
Very
remember that.
scary. So, what did it feel like for you when it was happening?
So I
Like,
was
start
sitting,
out with like the bodily feeling,
okay, yeah. So I was sitting at my desk. Wait, are we talking about the spirit coming in me or the timeline shift?
the spirit.
Okay, so I'm sitting there and I'm doing readings, right? And I kind of feel something. All of a sudden, it feels like my ears are plugged, like I
Okay.
can't hear,
Uh-huh.
and it feels like it's a tunnel. And I'm like, this is weird. Then all of a sudden, I feel like I'm in and out of consciousness. Like it's almost like I want to pass out. It's almost like, I don't know if I can say this, but I may have to bleep it, but like somebody roofied me and like I'm going in and out of consciousness and I feel the presence of the spirit, right?
Uh-huh.
And then bodily, it's like as I'm going in and out, it's starting like they're showing me like a film of like what they're trying to tell me. And then all of a sudden my whole body starts to feel like this person, like how they're going in and out of consciousness. I feel like I have cancer like all over my body and like I'm getting ready to like go, and then they're showing me their life and I feel like my like fingers are moving and in ways that I don't understand, and like my posture changes and the way that I'm speaking changes.
Like
And
it wasn't you controlling your body,
yeah,
you were a
it wasn't
puppet
me.
and somebody
Yeah.
else was controlling the strings.
Yeah, and it was like really scary because I was like I don't understand like what you're trying to show me, and it was very intense.
That's
um
very scary. That's very scary. That's very
yeah.
intense. I, my good friend, Florida girl, Brandy, love her to pieces. Shout out to you. I love you, bitch. Um, and I'm not going to get too in depth on this story because it's not my story to tell, and I don't know how
Mhm.
comfortable it makes her, but she experienced some real dark shit. And she is not like us. She's not spiritual. She's not a tarot reader. She doesn't dabble in the esoteric realm whatsoever. And basically, her and her partner were at one of his friends' places. And she said when she got there, she immediately felt like it was weird. Like it just felt off. Like the property just felt like that weird old, like swampy land of the Florida marshes. Like it just that
Uh-huh.
creepy vibe, you know? And they were sitting on the front porch and like everybody was just like having a beer and drinking, you know? And I guess like all of the boys were on one bench and like Brandy was sitting on like another chair, like another swing chair, by herself. And she said all of a sudden it was 85 degrees outside. We're in Florida. Okay. All of a sudden the temperature plummets, she says, and she feels like it's like 20 degrees outside. She gets ice cold to the bone. And then she feels something grab her left hand, squeeze it so tightly, and it pulls her left hand in the air. Nobody can see what's happening to her, and she's frozen. She cannot speak. She's just stuck with her arm dangling in the air. And her partner looks over at her, and she is like, and he, like, I don't remember exactly what happened, but it was like the minute that I think she like had said his name, and like the minute that they made eye contact, like it broke the trance, and her arm fell. And she said that when that thing touched her arm, it felt like it was something that wanted to kill her, that wanted her to feel pain, and that wanted her to just suffer. And she got up immediately. She said, "Get the fuck up, or you can stay here. I don't give a fuck what you do. I'm getting in the car, I'm leaving, and I am never coming back here ever again."
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't the only creepy thing that happened on that property, but that was the only thing that she personally experienced. Her partner also experienced like some alien Bigfoot type shit out there, um, or something. I don't know. I don't know. There's some weird things that go on in those lands.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, to like have that happen to you and to have like that type of an interaction with a spirit, I don't know. I pray to my angels, I pray to my spirit guides that you protect me and you never allow that to happen because I swear to fucking, I swear, I swear to you, I ain't ready for that shit. Don't you do that to me. You protect me. Don't you do that to me. A
Mm-hmm.
little shadow here and there, whatever. I can handle a little shadow, people.
Wait,
Ain't
so
nothing touch me, never. I
side
don't
note,
want,
have you had more spiritual activity personally
I
since
have
the eclipse?
shadow people. Yeah.
Seems.
It, it's especially the shadow people and the light flickering, and my mediumship skills are getting very intense because I like am understanding it, better than I feel like I ever really have before. And I am more open to it than I think that I ever have been. And
I'm getting.
I can feel like when a spirit comes in the room and I can feel when they want to talk to me. And I feel like one of the first things that they always want to tell me, and I feel like they want to like immediately tell me this so that the person I'm talking to knows the association, cause of death. And I'm feeling these things like happen in my body. Like I was doing it for one person and it was a drug overdose, and I had felt that way. Um, I had felt like I was overdosing. And there was, um, one time where I started having sharp stabbing pains in my head, and the person had died from, you know, head trauma. So just
Scary.
crazy things that are starting to happen. And
Well,
I don't know if it's because the veil is thinning or what the deal is, or if we're just becoming more in tuned
I
with
think it's
that
accumulation.
frequency. Yeah, I think you're right.
I think it's an accumulation of things. Like one, right now, things are going to be crazy. So when the fall equinox hits up until I want to say like November 10th for me, but specifically the middle of October to like the 5th, it is super super active for me always, but also like I'm very very connected. My favorite holiday what I celebrate is Dia de los Muertos, so that's like normal.
I'm so excited for you
But
to
I
share
will
that with me.
I know I am too. And I welcome that, but I get tons and tons of activity. But this is different. This is different in the sense that one, I do feel like our mediumship is coming in, and something is that I don't think our viewers know is Meg and I have kind of been a little bit traumatized from mediumship. So we've
Yes,
not really welcomed it. We haven't wanted it. It's kind
close
of
it off.
scary. You've heard,
Buried that vault.
yeah, and like as you've heard, like feeling somebody's cause of death and physically feeling it, it's hard.
You
It's
don't
not
want to feel that
easy.
overwhelming emotions. It's like when a spirit tries to, like, I feel like for me personally, and I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you, but um, I feel like what I've been feeling is like it almost feels like they feel so anxious, like they feel like they have so much to say, and because they're talking so fast, like I don't know what the fuck you're saying, but it's because they feel like they're running out of time because they know they only have so much time, and I feel like it gets very overwhelming because it's like they're like, I love you, I love you, I love you. You got to let them know that I love them, but it's like you can feel their
Yeah.
presence from that alone. And I swear to God, I cannot handle it. Like, I don't like that when it
Yeah.
happens during a TikTok live because I just bawl my fucking eyes out. I am
Yeah,
bawling
it's
my eyes out.
hard.
It's so energetically draining.
Well, yeah, definitely that. And I also think too, I think those that are supposed to send, because here's the other thing. Um, there's another mutual reader that you and I both know, and they've also like shied away from mediumship, and it's come for them the way that it's come for us. And it's like we don't have a choice. It's like it's here and it's happening to a lot of people, and I think it's part of the ascension. And I do think that there are some things that are coming that they are trying to get us ready for.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's a lot coming. I'm like so I don't even know.
Hmm.
I I'm driving 90 on Route 66, windows down, sunglasses on, living La Vida Loca, driving into the fucking fire is what I feel like because I know there's a shit storm coming and there's nothing I can do to stop it, so I might as well fucking live La Vida Loca while I can, you
Yeah.
know?
And
Like what the
like,
fuck else am I gonna do? Just sit here and worry away because I keep feeling all of these existential pressures coming at me?
yeah.
No,
And
I can't.
no, for sure, for sure. And like, it's a lot.
It makes me want to go crazy. It makes me feel so scared. Like it makes me feel so anxious. And I'm like, I got to get out of the house. I got to do this. I got to do that. Like,
Well,
because
yeah.
I
And
just
like
feel like the end of the
today,
fucking world is coming.
well, exactly like today, I wasn't steady. I still feel anxious. I feel anxious now. Like, there's a lot of like things we can get into, but I don't want you guys to think we're crazy just yet. So,
Exactly.
um,
But I
but
mean, like, go look at the world right now. Go look at what's going on. Like, just go. You just have to read a couple news articles to understand why everybody in the
yeah, and
entire
the
world has a reason
impending,
to be nervous
and
right
I'm going to
now.
be really honest, the impending election has me really, really nervous.
Absolutely. I think that everybody has a right, regardless on which side of the fence you hop, or if you lie in the middle, or you don't even give a fuck about the fence. We respect you. I'm not going to judge you for
Absolutely.
your
And,
opinion. Um,
but
and
it,
I'm not going to share mine because this is not a political channel. But I will say that I'm definitely fucking scared. I'm like, okay, so what? Are we about to go to Nuketown? Is this fucking Black Ops zombies or what? Like, what am I dealing with?
yeah, and it's just like with that, and then just kind of everything with the eclipse and the end of the year and how intense everything has been. I'm actually really nervous. And even not, and even if we want to take, the election out of it, look at everything that we've been having for like national weather anomalies. Like
Mm.
that's also wild, weird, and crazy. And so it just has me all up in my head, and I'm trying to get out of it, but it's like my body won't let me. It's like my body is like constantly
I
like
feel tense
um
even
it's like
now.
I'm
I feel
constantly
on edge
running
and
on
I'm like
high. It's
as
like I'm a
high as a
car
kite.
engine that's in, fourth gear that keeps trying to shift into five and it can't. And it's revving, 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 revving.
Yeah,
Like I feel like I'm
exactly.
constantly revving, and it's overwhelming. Um, but on yeah, and it's like overwhelming. And I think too on that front, like speaking of mediumship, like something that you and I both want to do on the podcast is like, develop that and entertain that a little bit, and like
Absolutely.
and seeing who comes through and talk about that process as it happens, because as we're learning, I'm sure there are some of you that either maybe you've been doing it for a while and have tips and tricks for us, or you are also like going through what we're going through and you're learning and it's kind of thrusted upon you and you don't know how to do this, that, or the other. So um I do think that's something fun that we're going to do in the future, and I hope you guys enjoy that as we go along, and as we poke through our gifts.
Yeah, and it'll be fun. We're your spiritual besties over here, you know? We're learning, you're learning, everybody's learning. We're always learning. You never stop learning. So maybe you can give us advice, we can give you advice, and we can all
Yeah.
kumbaya around the fire.
So there's a few other quick things that I thought that I wanted to talk to you about, and I thought that would be fun. Um,
Yes.
so first things first, just because we all love like a little transition, and we all like, kind of like knowing a little bit of things a little more personal. What songs or music are like what is stuck in your head lately?
You're so fucking weird. I
Why?
swear to God, you're so weird. While
Why?
you were just speaking, literally, I'm not even kidding, while you were literally just speaking, I was just thinking, we really, um, Got to get some more music added to the Zen and Juice playlist on Spotify.
Oh yeah, guys, check it out. Follow us, listen to us. Not just us, but our playlist because we
Yeah,
have some.
we have our own individual music playlists on there of music that, Juice and I like to listen to. So that's weird that you say that because I was just thinking how we need to add some more music on there. The songs that are stuck in my head right now. I'll tell you what I'm listening to right now on repeat. Let me go to my Spotify. Okay,
Oh, why is that song coming to my head right now?
which song?
Cake by the ocean. Ah, la 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 la. Da, na, 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 na.
We
Cake
can't
by the
buy you.
ocean.
Talk to me,
Baby,
baby.
yeah.
I'll be.
Hey, go fucking crazy.
Aha.
But
Cake by the ocean. I
then
don't know.
I
I don't
don't
know
know.
about Joe ever since everything that's happened
So,
with so, I don't know. It's
I don't
just
know.
so
Side
crazy.
note, I still kind of love JoJo.
I think I
I
kind of
still
do
love
too.
him. And I've had a dream. Girl, side note, I don't know if
I'm
I
mixed
this, but I had a dream where and this is like what's really crazy is I had a dream where I was writing music with the Jonas Brothers, but like Joe Jonas was hitting on me, but Kevin was. But for some reason, I was more into Kevin because Kevin has his shit together and he seems
because Kevin
normal.
has his shit together.
And I was like, damn, where have you been? And Joe was like,
Where
what
have
about
you
me?
been all
He's like,
my
you
life?
loved me for years. And I was like, oh, what's up with you, Kevin? But I woke up and
What's up with you, Kev?
I can still remember to a T the music that I wrote in that dream. And it's not a
Really?
song that exists. It's like something that I actually did. So I sat down and I like got it out, but I was like, that's fucking crazy. But
This
on a
is
side note,
real.
I
This
don't
is
know
me.
why I like long torso, short legged Joe Jonas.
I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
This is the real.
Get on in the light.
This is me. Like when Demi
Just for
Lovato
me.
used to sing, where like her bottom jaw used to come out and go to the side. This is real. This is me. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you about the songs
Songs
that
I've
you're
been
listening to.
listening to on repeat. Um, the Cannons. Okay, the band, the Cannons. I've been listening to a couple of their songs on repeat. Bright Lights, Loving You. Those are two that are like really in my head right now. Uh, Back on 74, Jungle is like stuck in my head right now. And I've also been listening to West Coast a lot by Lana Del Rey because I just fucking love that song so much. Every time I listen to West Coast, it's when I'm in the car and I'm driving on the road and I'm living my fantasy, and I just love it. Still on Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso. Isn't that sweet? I guess. Oh, yes, it
I
is.
actually
Yes, it is
like her
that fucking
song
sweet.
Taste. I don't really like her, but I like her song Taste.
I don't really know if I like her either because I've heard that she might be not like a whore, but like a meanie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I heard something about a waitress. Don't mark my words. Go fact that check your own shit on Google. I don't have no any opinion on her other than she's got some good songs. I don't know her as a person. I wouldn't judge her as a person. Sus, mid. I'm not sure. I don't know. She's beautiful though. I will say that. But looks are not everything. But I like espresso. Espresso's good. The song I've been listening to it on repeat. Don't Dream It's Over by Crowded House.
Oh, okay.
Hey now,
This
don't
is the one.
it's over.
Oh,
Hey now,
I like. That's a good
hey
list.
now. It's been on repeat. Those have kind of been
That's
my
a good
go-tos.
list of songs.
Yeah, how about you?
Um, so there's like so mind you, I go through a phase where like I love country, and then I go through a phase where I don't want to listen to it and I can't stand it. Every time I
Respect.
feel like I need to listen to country, it's always like telling me it reminds me of my grandpa, it reminds me of when
Uh,
I trained horses and competed in equine, and it reminds me of my grandpa, and it's like telling me to get rooted or whatever. Anyway, there's this artist, his name is like Brett Young, and he released this new song that's called Say Less. I love it. I love it. And Also, the song called Drowned by Front Porch Step. It is very emo, but it like speaks to my soul. It's like exactly how I feel right now, and with some person, people in your life that you're
I
just
love a
kind of
good
like,
emo.
when you're just kind of like, I love you, but I also like hate you,
I
you
love
know?
you and I fucking
Um,
hate you.
and then also I love Pink Pony Club by Chaperone
Oh,
and Stick. I'm like, I
the
think
ping
my
pong
anthem the past
nickel.
like 2 years, 2 years, 2.5 years, has been like Stick Season by Noah Khan. Again, very, very relevant to a part of my life. And then for those of you that don't know, I love musical theater. It is my thing. And there's like this musical album called Bloom. I'm sorry, it's called In Pieces. But there's these two songs called one of them is called Bloom, and then the other one is like Get Up and Go, and they're very, very, very good. And I've been listening to those on repeat.
That just made me start thinking of Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia,
I
here we go
loved
again.
Mamma
How
Mia the play.
can I resist you? I've been treated by you, and I mean, when. Bum, 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 bum. But anyway, I think those are pretty good lists. And um again, we hope that you guys like check out our playlist, and in the comments let us know, what are you listening to? What do you recommend that we listen to?
Yes,
We
please
have a
give me some
very
new music,
eclectic
please. Oh
we have
my
a very
God,
eclectic
please.
taste, from oldies
I listen
to
to everything.
opera.
I listen to everything, and that goes internationally speaking. I listen to everything.
Yeah,
So,
French Earth is really good, by the way.
yeah, you know, I really get into French house music.
See, we're global.
I don't know. There's something about it. There's something about it that's just like very hypnotic, and I just love it. Like I listen to it when I'm on the
Yeah.
treadmill.
Well, so on that, like, I know my ADHD is going, but can we talk about these like fizz people on TikTok for a second? I want to talk about these two things. My TikTok for you page, either I get things that are like really fascinating, or it's the same shit, or it's off the wall stuff. There isn't anything in between. Like, I don't get consistent feeds. But the two things that have consistently been pushed to me are fizzing with insert name and Frankie Valley.
Frankie
So
Valley.
between these two things. And so first are like these fizz people. And before I post my question to you, Meg, I was like, what the hell is this? Like, who is on live, and what is fizzing, and what is this? And is this an MLM? Which it is. But I was like, what the heck? So basically, for those of you that don't know, they have these parties on live, on TikTok live, and you join, and basically you buy this jewelry, and then they open up the package for you, and you watch them open up your mystery jewelry, because it's a mystery box. So you pay for like a mystery item, and then they open it up, and then they read you what it is. And sometimes they like fizz it in water or whatever it is. And there's so many people out there doing it, and they have hundreds of people in the live, and they're selling things like crazy. And this may be controversial, but the shit looks cheap.
Looks like cheap jewelry.
Cheap jewelry. Like, I'm looking
Like
at that,
looks
and
like
like, that's
cubic
costume.
zirconia.
I'm like, that's costume jewelry
Oh
that you guys are
no.
paying for, and everything else. So I'm curious, have you seen the Fizz people?
I have heard, listen, I've heard of it not through TikTok Shop, but many moons ago, many years ago, there was like a phase where bath bombs were like a very crazy thing. And there is like this company that does candles and bath bombs, and theirs is actually really high quality jewelry. Like it actually looks like very pretty. They're very expensive candles. The bath bombs are very expensive, and it's like very nice jewelry that you get inside of it. And you get money in it too. Like it comes with money. That I know. This new fizzing trend that's happening on the TikTok with the costume jewelry was unbeknownst to me until you sent me that damn video earlier and my jaw about dropped because there was so many people in the live
Yeah, and
going crazy for it.
I can't
And I'm like, why
decide.
are you buying that?
Well, I can't
Go to Walmart and
decide
buy that.
is the draw that it's mystery and somebody's opening it for you?
Probs.
Is it that you like the person that's doing it who's hosting everything? Or, is it that we're bored? Like, because it can't be for the jewelry. It absolutely 100, 1000% can't be for the jewelry. Because, like, if you get a dupe, a double, or whatever it is, like, you're stuck with it. So it has to be because it's the mystery of opening it. But all the personalities are the same. I can say it's the same for certain tarot readers too, where it's like Johnny, energy of Johnny and Kara, Johnny and Kara. Oh, three of swords, no, one card pool, yes, no. Next person. Like it's kind of like that same
Yeah,
vibe.
right.
And I people eat it up and people love it. That tarot
I'm
reading can
guilty.
be fucking a fraud and
I'm
they
guilty as
love it.
charged. I'm guilty as charged. I'm not going to even deny it to you. Have you heard of mystery crystal and rock giveaways on TikTok?
No.
Oh my God, Corey. So now we know what's on your FYP. Let's talk about mine. And then we'll get into Frankie Valley because let me say that's on mine as well. So, um, this is basically a tub. It's a giant tub and it's filled with either rice or like styrofoam or plastic pieces. And it's a big tumbling tub. So it tumbles this basically grain. And these people come in and they take all of these different types of minerals and crystals of all different shapes and colors and cuts and designs. And it all goes into the tumbler where it sits. And like this whole tub like sits and vibrates. And people will order scoops on TikTok live. Like you purchase them on the TikTok shop. You order a scoop and then you hear ting ting. And then it's like new order and then you wait for your number to be called and then you watch them like dig their hand in with this scooper and then they put it in this bucket and you you could get tiger's eye, you could get calcite, you could get quartz crystal. There's, you could get your hands on anything in there. And I've really wanted to do it, but it's kind of expensive. So I just sit in there and watch it sometimes. And then I also think to myself, like, okay, are these authentic pieces or am I getting like, you know,
Yeah, like lab created.
but it's so pretty regardless. I'm like,
Well,
even if
I've
it
seen
is lab
people that
created for
also,
fucking $50.
I've seen people that like, I know the trend too is like if you buy from TikTok shop, like um, watching your order either be made or packaged is a thing. But I was watching these rhinestone people where they sit there and people order a bunch of rhinestones and they're scooping the rhinestones in the back.
Yes. Or like the nail stuff, like the nail art people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I sit there and watch it and they'll do it
I
with like
think it's
those tiny
because
little
of that.
shovels
I
too.
think people like watching it. It's like
I do.
satisfying
It's so satisfying.
or what have you. So I think that's interesting. I've not seen the rock and crystal people, but I'm now going to
I'm
keep an
gonna
eye
put you on
out
them.
because I clearly I do want to know.
You gotta
Um,
know. I gotta put you on them.
yeah. Um, okay, Frankie Valley. Okay.
I
So
just posted on my TikTok of, well, it's a draft actually. I'm gonna shut up. It's not posted yet.
but Frankie, okay. So for those of you that don't know, maybe those of you that are young wee ones, Frankie Valley was like huge in the what 70s and 80s. Jersey Boy the musical was written with his music. He's not doo-wop, but
Do
it's not
do
doo-wop or
wanna.
barbershop quartet, but it's got a little bit of that vibe. And his
Hey
he a
Siri,
lot of like
what genre is Frankie Valli's music? That's so fucking stupid. You don't know shit. Go away, dumb bitch.
But like so I mean a lot of songs that you guys know, like I can't keep my eyes off of you. You're like heaven to
Dun-na,
like
dun-na, dun-na,
Sherry baby, like all these songs
Sherry.
that you would know are his. And so anyway, he is 90 years old and they've decided, you know, he wants to go back on tour. So people have been posting videos of him and he looks like like an animatronic where he stands there, he like doesn't blink, his mouth barely moves, and he like zones out and half the time his mouth moves and doesn't move. But the thing that's freaky is that when it's time for him to speak in the microphone, he's actually talking, but he's like death staring into people in the crowd, like not blinking and like zoning off, and it's like he's not there but then is there. And so it's been
Joe
this
Byron.
trend of like I don't even know, like almost creepy. And they're like, he's 90 years old, like everybody let him relax. But he apparently wants to do it. But what's weird is like you can clearly tell he's like zoned out or maybe not all there, but when it's time for him to like speak, he does.
He does.
It's the freakiest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. And the thing is like normally it's like, oh, this is creepy, let me look away. I can't stop watching these videos. I can't. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with him?
There
And
is.
I'm like, he's, but then I'm also like, I don't believe in elder abuse. Even though you're old, you're not worthless. You should still live your life and do the things that you want to do. And so I want to respect it, but at the same time, I'm like, if I was in that crowd and he was looking at me like that, I feel like my soul was like sucked from me, but it also looks like no one's home.
Do you want to know why it looks like your soul was sucked from you? Because he looks like fucking Palpatine. He looks like from the Emperor Straight Back in Star Wars. He literally looks like Palpatine. I'm not even kidding, and I'm not
You
even
want to
trying
know
to
what's
ignore it.
hilarious is I'm shocked I knew that reference because I've never seen the Star Wars movies, but my brother-in-law has been making me, when I go over to my sister's for dinner, he's been making me like watch the shows like The Mandalorian
Oh,
and things like that.
oh my God, I love The
But
Mandalorian.
like my sister and I have no idea what's going on. And so he hates to watch them with us because we rename people because we can't remember their names. So we call Poppletine Ovaltine. And so we're like fucking Ovaltine Redenbacher, like all this stuff. And he gets so mad at us. So when you said that, I was like, oh, wait, that sounds so familiar. And then my brain went, she's talking about Ovaltine.
Oh my gosh.
He hates us.
So, have you watched the Star Wars Legacy?
Not the movies, but I've seen
Oh my
all of
God.
the shows
Listen,
except the new one. I did watch Ayahuasca or whatever that one was
I
with
10 out of 10
Rosario
recommend watching
Dawson.
them. 10 out of 10. I genuinely recommend watching them. They're
The
good.
movies?
Yeah, they're good.
I don't know if I can do it
It's good, I promise. It's good.
because
Push through the first 40 minutes. After that, shit gets real.
okay, I'm gonna try. I kind of swore to myself I would never do
You
it,
have to do it. I
but
did it. I
I'm
swear I
gonna
would do it with you
try.
even.
But oh yeah, we I would watch them with you.
We could watch them
Um
together.
yeah, because it's like, but I had no idea. So he has to like fill us in on everything. But I definitely like rename everyone, and especially like with Jabba the Hutt, he looks like an aunt who married one of my uncles, and so we call her Sue. Um,
Oh my
we call
God.
Jabba the Hutt Sue.
Oh my God.
And so he gets so mad because we rename everything. Like, what is? Now I don't know his real name. Mosh Shits. We call him Mr. We call him Mayor Gary Shits, the thing that looks like the Snell. He's called
Mayor.
like Mosh. He's called like Mosh Shits, more shits is his name.
Oh my God, dude. That's so
But
funny.
yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to like derail us. So back to like your opinion on Frankie Valley. But when you said that, I was like, oh man, I actually know what she's talking about.
Yeah, that's basically my opinion, is that he looks like fucking Palpatine. And the memes that are going around on TikTok are life. and I cannot wait to make more of them.
And it's like,
I just think it's so funny. But he, you know what? He made some beautiful music. But he
yeah, well,
does, it's creeping me out.
and this has me wondering too, where it's kind of like, you know, I mean, love his music and it's sweet, but it's kind of too like, is he okay to be doing this? And I know he says he loves it, but like he doesn't really blink.
And I have to bet if he put his hand on you to like grip your hand, he'd probably crush you. I guarantee you he's got super strength.
Oh yeah.
I
But like,
guarantee you beneath that skin is super strength. I guarantee it.
well, y'all heard it here first. He is definitely the first zombie of the apocalypse.
He's the Frankie Belly is the first fucking zombie of the apocalypse. All you're gonna hear is
The Last of Us. And you're gonna hear that the clicking.
Sharon, Sharon, Megan's coming for you. That's all you're gonna hear.
Oh man, I'm pretty sure people are sick of hearing us.
Oh God, probably so. I mean, we've talked about a lot tonight.
We did.
This has been a fun episode.
I know. I hope you guys liked the pilot. This hope you guys, liked it.
Hope you guys
Um,
like the pilot. It's pretty all right.
and the next episode is officially episode 1, and it is our like debut. This is just a little bit of like a sneak peek of
Yeah.
what's to come. Every episode is going to be different. We're gonna have different things we're gonna talk about. Um, so we hope that you guys tune in, and you're either right now listening to us on YouTube, Spotify, or Amazon Music. And if you click our little beacons, you can find other ways to connect to us. You can find other content that we have, listen to our playlist. You can see other things that we're doing in our life. And we hope that you connect with us, that you follow us on TikTok, Zen and Juice, and Zen and Juice podcast on TikTok. I feel like I'm missing something, Meg.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm not.
I'm not sure if you are. I'm really not sure if you are. I feel like, yeah, that's everything that's in the beacons. We've got all of our social media that's linked in there. There's a little donation spot that's in there.
Oh, yeah,
Previous
side note.
videos that are linked in there. All of that good stuff is linked in there.
And side note, if there are things that you all want to share or things that you think would be interesting that you want to hear from us, please let us know. But as Megan said, right now we are self-funded, and that's
Whoop,
totally
whoop.
cool. But if you also want to support certain content or different adventures we're going to do, you're more than welcome to do so. Or if you're a sponsor out there and you're like, oh my God, these girls, like they're the best. We're
Sponsor is
here.
Frankie
And
Valley.
our
Bewitch Me
sponsor is
Palpatine.
Frankie Valley. We are sponsoring the very first zombie of the apocalypse, Frankie
Listen,
Valley.
I
He's
would not want to be on
definitely,
anybody else's side.
I would honestly, I wouldn't either. He'd be my first pick to dodgeball.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, guys, we love you,
We
and
love
we'll
you.
see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.